You guys got right. Basically, you elected for your by having a favor from him. Did you watch the thing from last week, Ryan? That's fair. Ultimately, you realize you can ask a favor, and the favor you asked was to undo your agreement, which meant you didn't know him the things, but then he had to reduce the yeah. So and you said, and he said he would make a. You guys weren't going to do a deal with him, but you would do a kind of like you would have a small quest for kind of a different like result and um, yeah. So what's his name? Whose name is Lyle told you that there's like a token that binds him to the Green Master, and if you can find that token that's on his person, then you could actually kind of like set him free. So basically, you ask for a smaller task and requested something, and he kind of is enjoying the little game. So he's like, "Sure, fine, I'll give you this task that you guys need to perform, and when you come back, then I'll let you pick something of mine that you can have." That's like readily on his person. I think I can't remember the exact agreement you guys got. But yeah. I was giving you guys a little bit of leeway in the negotiation because it wasn't like super smooth, but it was later and people were tired, so. Maybe like a shovel worth. Like here. And so, yeah, green scarf. Yep, black cane, black hat, green scarf. Oh yeah. So then basically what he said there's a town northwest that they had once visited and set up camp, and the people there used to, um, I mean, as far as you know, like feed off of he was feeding off of their dreams, and something's interfering with that now. They're actually getting super super depressed, and he doesn't like that. It actually is messing up his game. So he wants you guys to go take care of whatever problem that's causing that, and then that seems like a fair enough task. And if you don't make it back, he doesn't care. So, oh, he's pragmatic like that. It cost me nothing to send you guys there. It might cost me something, but you guys won't have to. Oh, you guys did level up to level 7 too. I think it looks like you did that with your character, Ryan, because you have 97 hit points. What did you roll? You guys rolled really well. Bob, that base. Oh, that base. That's true. But then with your constitution, it's 11. It's huge. Yeah, it's 11. Yep. You could roll if you want. Because I'll give you... Yeah, but I don't penalize you for less than a half. Oh, yeah. So you always should roll. I think we rolled your other ones before, because you always should roll. There's no reason not to for... Yeah. Yeah. And that was it. It must have always been over that 6 then. Because otherwise I would make you just take the 6. Because I don't like the idea of an anemic fighter with 11 hit points at 11. Yeah, so I don't. Yeah. So are you trying to roll in the game? Because I don't see anything happening. I hear things though, which makes me think something's happening, but I don't see any change in my game. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. All right. Well, then we changed nothing. But hey, I feel like we gave you the opportunity to do what you feel like you need. That is awesome, actually. Did I level her up? That's your magic item, right? That's doing that, right? Well, you have the magic item too. What else do you get? Yeah, I think it's the parapet. Did you guys decide who you wanted to take with you to the thing? Because you have them all back now. Yep. Yeah. Right. No, he likes what's her name? Allison. Allie, the wizard. He's keeping it above the bar. He's like, hey. They're all significantly younger than him. Doesn't want to me too anything. Yep. If that didn't tell you what. Hold on, I'm just reading some. Yeah, well, that's one of the carnival games going off. Have I not been using the carnival? I thought I was using the carnival with you guys. Oh, hold on, I'm trying to figure out something real quick. I apologize. I didn't level up Allison, so I'm doing that right now. So I just gotta look and see what she can do. She gets to pick a spell, and somehow she's like, guys, I figured something out. She gets level 7, which means she gets a level 4 spell. Which, I mean, I have a default that I always want to take, but I'm going to take something different instead. So, because God bless is just polymorph is so useful. Let's see here. Just one more. Trying to think what fits with her. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take. Yeah, we'll take Storm Sphere. All right, cool. All right, so you guys know that you can go this place. You're gonna move the party members over there. Chris, you still feel very, very sad, very just drained and drawn, and it just sucks. You should be. It's just awful. It's awful. You guys, what do you guys want to do? You basically had you had a rest to do, and you thought, I think we're going to head out in the morning. All right. Gonna try to pick you, especially with the traveler, just gonna travel by foot. I'm gonna try to get a cart. You gonna try to do anything like that? Remember, things don't. You'd have to basically just kind of persuade someone to part with their own property. Yeah. He didn't know. You guys didn't really ask that. I will say it is about a day's. It will be about a 10-hour walk. So if you guys leave in the morning, you'll get there close to sundown. No, like gnolls are medium, and orcs are medium, and even minotaurs are technically medium. So they're just because they're monstrous races doesn't mean they're monstrous sizes, sirs. But go ahead and make a investigation check for me. I'll just do it that way. We'll just roll it. We'll just let the dice settle this. Yep. And you have disadvantage. Wow. Yeah, you don't. You feel it looks like you look around and you just think that the general distrust of most of these monstrous races is they look at you like that. Like I don't have them all on the map, but the other ones just you don't think that they're gonna like they're not gonna be willing to trade with you guys, or if they do, you're gonna have to offer them something ridiculous in order to even just get probably the most feeble of carts, and then try to get a horse for it. It just might just be more trouble than it's worth. You'll spend half the day trying to argue to get a cart. That's. She did not. She did not. So thankfully the walk is not very adventurous or challenging or anything, but you eventually get to a small fishing village that echoes off onto little docks, huts. It does look like LeVar Burton. It does look like LeVar Burton. Oh, jeez. Just see. Yeah. As you get there, the sky is dark, and you realize that even though it's getting close to sundown, you feel like there's an unnatural weight in this place, and it just seems to weigh heavy on you. You're almost on your spirit as you get close to this place. Chris, it is like doubling down on you. Like you feel depressed because you don't have your axe, and now you feel even more depressed. It's just, yeah. You see there are men walking around in the outskirts of the town and around the town, and they seem to they I won't say they're walking aimlessly because they have a purpose. They're carrying torches, and that's what's providing the meager amount of light. And their eyes are constantly moving around. They seem very, very, very paranoid. And did this right? It didn't do this right. So, okay, you can do that. 1 second. Sure. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Just need one more thing here. To at least the middle one, or did you go all the way? Yeah, yeah. Well, they don't give you a lot of space in the free dude. They don't give you a lot at all. So, I mean, it doesn't take. Well, that's good. Yeah. I just remember it being, I didn't think it was that much. Like, in. Because you can only run, what, like 1 or 2 games or something? Like, it limits you on the number of games, too, or tries to at least. So. I see, Jason, you already have a torch on you right now on your character. It's a 50-20-20, I think. It's regular 20-20. Is that what your lantern does? You're muted, Jason. So let me see. Let's see here. It's a hooded lantern. 30-foot radius, dim for additional 30-30. So 30-30, yep. Flask of oil will do it, so you actually have a little bit more light coming from your thing. Okay. As you near, one of the commoners begins to approach you all. And he stops at the edge of the bridge. He says, "Woe to anyone who comes here. You should not come here. Woe to anyone who comes here." This is the lakeside fishing village. We are on the lakeside. He looks at you quizzically, and he stumbles away from you as you get close to him. He's like, "I want you. I want you. I want you." What do you mean? Yes. Yeah. He did. Yep. So Ryan, you see a couple of commoners. They can like shying away from you, but they're just I mean, other than them just being kind of weird and a little creepy, they're not like dangerous in any way, shape, or form. They're just very, very, very standoffish. Do you guys still see the? Do you still see the huts? Do you still see the huts and stuff? You don't see anything in the north anymore? If we do this. Let me see what you see when I see through your eyes. I hate when it does that. Hold on. Like, I don't know. The pre-built maps are great. When I build my own maps, I add dynamic lighting. I just end up like, you lose the buildings. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, I mean, I did want you not to, I wanted the light to kind of go around them, but like, that's a stump there, and I put the lighting on the stump, and like, now it's this black, like, obstruction, like, you can't see. I deleted all the dynamic lighting. I don't know, there's gotta be something I'm not doing right in the dynamic lighting, I don't know. Because when I do my other maps that have dynamic lighting, you guys still see the walls as normal. You don't lose all the walls. It's like, it doesn't, but it still blocks the light around it. Like, I want to block the light. I don't want to necessarily stop you guys from seeing it. Maybe there's just no way. I don't know. So, after a little while, well, what are you going to do, Ryan? Sorry. All right, you get about there. That's fine. And you notice a finer dressed person steps out of this hut out here, and he comes down the gangplank, and he doesn't look as like rattled as the others. And he begins moving towards you with some haste. He's like, "Whoa, wait, good sirs, wait, be careful before you choose to come here." And he gets right up to you. I don't know if the rest of the party's joining you or not. That is not that. This is not that. We have had a bum of really poor luck these last some odd weeks, maybe even months now. The time is getting hard to tell. It's always so dreary here now, so dark, so foreboding. That's something. Again, it's maybe weeks, maybe months. It's hard to tell now because. But we have very little to offer you. So if you come here for adventure, if you come here for trade, we haven't had a decent haul in quite some time, and I'm afraid that as this continues and whatever is afflicting some of my citizenry, we will probably have nothing for anyone else, and we will just drift off into the water, and we will drown deep down and drown. He looks over to Chris and he's like, Are you a healer, man? Are you a healer by chance? Then please. And he reaches over and he goes to grab your hand. I don't know if you're going to let him or not. He grabs your hand and he begins urgently pulling you into this tent over here to the right. And is the rest of you guys going to follow him? Just out of curiosity. Oh, okay, thank you. And I'll just go ahead and move that real quick. Get you guys in here. It's a little cozy. I'm not quite sure how I will fit you guys all here. I'll do this. These are going to be kind of in the doorway. Derek and Ollie stay outside. So you're in this room and you see all these men are like in the bed, and they're like their eyes are closed. They're mumbling words and they're convulsing, and kind of flailing out like. Like just like a few of them are laying face down, some lay on their side, but they're all of them have just like, and there's just sweat, like, and you can tell they have layers and layers and layers of blankets on them, and they're just soaked through. A bald man seems to be attending them. He's standing on top of them now, but just because of space concerns. And it's likely they've packed a lot of beds in this room. A small fire across the way from your entrance provides you with warmth and comfort, and this room it feels very cozy and welcoming and safe. But you don't get the vibe looking at the bodies and how people are. He says, "These are my most decorated fishermen, but one night after the next, they all have been befallen with something, and then, yes." We found them in the middle of the town. We found them in the middle of just outside this hut, kind of the sort of middle of town, just laying on the ground in this state that you see here. And we just began to run such a high fever. And he looks over, and the other guy looks to you with pleading eyes. And he lifts up a hand, opens his mouth, and you notice he has no tongue. And he closes it. It looks like that's a long time. Like it's been a long time. So that's not a recent thing. Did you ask the mayor that, or you just your observation? I mean, okay. Oh no. Brother Eli. Well, I say Brother Eli. We really don't know his name. He's been with us for quite some time. He cannot speak, and he not well. Sorry, let me correct that. He writes in a language none of us understand. And his ability to write in the common tongue is not great. I have tried at times to teach him, but alas, it's just times are just too troubling. But he is a great worker. He's been tending to all these people as best he can, and he smiles and nods to the guy. And he seems to understand all of us well. And he nods. That's actually kind of funny. Are you checking the guys or the bodies on the beds? Okay, go ahead and make a medicine check with your good old disadvantage. It's true. Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, he has disadvantage. Sometimes all you got. Woo! Nice. Nice. You do not see, like, you do a thorough examination of these people, and you are certain there's nothing physically, like, there's no information you can see. There is nothing that really describes it. The only thing is maybe a slight swelling in, like, there's some swelling around their temples, like something just like, in their head a little bit area, and they seem to be, but other than that, you don't see, like, physically, you don't identify anything else that might be causing this level of discomfort and pain at all. And you like, yeah, there is just a tremendous amount of heat, like, it's coming off their bodies. I'm going to move Chris's character just a little bit out of the way to do that. It's examining bodies. Okay, before you kind of do that, or actually, you see some small buckets at the foot of your bed. There's actually extra pillows, and there's, like, little buckets, and there's pads there, and yeah, you can see there's sponges of sorts. So you can just go ahead and do that and start helping the people. I mean, yep. But it's almost like as you drain the water, like, over, it almost steams up off their heads. Their heads are so hot. Like, it's just unnatural, horrible heat. The mayor looks at you urgently. What do you believe in? And the brother Eli is like, kind of like nodding with you, Ryan. He's like helping you put, like, the stuff on their heads, and he's showing you how he changes their dressings a little bit, or the bedding sheets a little bit, and you just make them more comfortable. I mean, their bed sheets are soaked, like, with their sweat soon after they're put on them, but the mayor says, we are about 50. That I know about, these 6. No one has died yet. They all just seem to stay here and suffer. And he points to this person right here, and he has been with us the longest. Probably, again, the days so hard to tell, but maybe it was 4 weeks ago. Maybe. No, they all just, most just fish straight out from the village off the docks and take their nets and cast them out into the lake. So not very far, and there was nothing particular. And then a few days later, maybe 10 or so, then this guy fell ill in the middle of town. We found him in the morning, and then maybe 8 days after that, or maybe 9, I don't know, this guy, and then a few days, not quite as many as his, this guy, and then a few less days than after that, this guy, and then slowly then this guy. So if you weren't keeping up, it seems to be accelerating the nights between. They're all men. Yep. At that, he nods. He's like, well, but I would not wish to fall upon you. Again, I have nothing to offer you. I have no money. I have no. I'm trying to move around. I have no money. I have no fish. I have very little food left in our coffers. I really can offer you next to nothing. It is about that point when a very young, but a very attractive but young-looking tiefling enters the room, and Brother Eli, like, Ryan, you're closest to him. He like lets out like a hiss almost. He looks over at her, and she just stands there, and she, surprising. She has a little bit of surprise in her eyes as she looks at you all. She goes, "You must be the companions of the people I saw outside." And she moves over and begins to like change the dressing of this person over here, one of these people, like this guy here. She starts like, "Are you here to help?" Go ahead. Well, all these. There you go. All of these men would say that was all made up and it's part of the media, and they went out to dinner all the time together, wearing no mask and sitting within 6 inches of each other. Yeah. She does. She looks at you. I will just maybe a little spoon feeding, but go ahead and everyone make an insight check. You know what I'm going to say, Chris. Disadvantage. No. Disadvantage. Okay. Chris, there's something slightly off about this girl. It's like her eyes seem to scan the room, but they don't ever seem to really settle on anything, and they don't seem to have like any recognition. Jason, you would. It is. She has the hollow gaze and the movement of like a puppet. You know, Allie's a tiefling, right? Even better. Sure. Dang it. Why is it doing that now? She immediately she doesn't really, she says what she, and she starts going through the motions of changing this guy's like things, and she looks in your general direction and she's like, as long as I'm needed, I'm here to help. And she gets just kind of like, but it's like you. I mean, Jason, you're with a 20. It's unmistakable. Her movements are very much like a marionette. She's doing it. It's working. She's pulling the sheets off, but it's just like her arms kind of throw down. I mean, it's not. It's actually subtle, but you've got a really good roll. You see this. Chris notices that she has no like recollection of things. Like she's not seeing people. She's not seeing the room really, but she's moving around it. You notice that her whole movements are really like a marionette. Maybe not as exaggerated, like a good marionette, like a good puppet. The mayor goes, Sarai? Sarai has lived here all her life. And he looks at you like a little bit more sternly. All 15 years of her life. She just moves around the room. When she gets kind of close to Eli, he moves away from her and goes to one of the other beds. There are lots of creepy things in this swamp lake village. You know, you just never know what randomness might be there. The mayor says, I'm not sure. We could probably ask one of the other fishermen. They might know if they've gone to a certain spot within the lake. I think they all cast their nets in different locations, but I could be wrong. That there's... Yeah, I could be wrong. And Allie materializes as soon as I can move her token. She's like, yes, Baldwin? She says, sure. And she gets, she starts getting over close to one of them and goes to put her hand down on top of them, and then she basically calls upon, she does not have advantage. But she says, they are afflicted with something, and her eyes glow, and she begins mumbling some words. And she spends a little bit of time, and maybe about 10 minutes or so, and then her ritual's completed, and she's like, I see transfiguration magic at work on these bodies. I see something dark and fairly near working something. And she looks over at me, like she like snaps and looks over at the girl, like almost like her attention is pulled toward the girl. And the girl has gotten very rigid now, like if the marionette strings are pulled real tight and up, and she's actually on the tips of her tippy toes, and her eyes roll back in her head. And then you guys all hear this voice in your heads, and it kind of seems to echo through the room. This is what you expected to see. Did that work? I don't think that worked. Try this again. Is this what you expected when you came here? Is my voice normal? No, you gotta be kidding me. It didn't work? I hate this thing sometimes. Stupid thing. Why it's not working? Yeah. Aww. Oh. Alright, well, hold on. Well, then you go get cool voice. That's super lame. So mad at this thing right now. It's so hard to test because I can test it fine with mine, and I hear it. But you guys weren't reacting at all, so I'm like, something must not be working. Why is it not working? Yeah. Fuck, close the super program. God bless. Okay. What did I start to say? Now I've messed up my whole dialogue. Oh, yes. When you decided to pry into things that do not concern you. This is not a task for you to resolve. You should leave. If not, enjoy your night. Enjoy your stay. Allie then puts her hands together and mumbles some words of magic, and also you feel all this energy push out of the room, and her eyes glow like a fierce red, and she's spitting like things, and she's just speaking words of magic for the effect. And when she gets done, you think all the bodies in the room suddenly breathe a sigh of relief, and the girl collapses on the ground like she's been cut strings. She's like, I have dispelled this thing's magic for the time. I do not know how long it will stay away. Probably about a minute, because it's so long. I can suspend the magical effect. But that is all I have right now. Huh? She immediately collapses. She's collapses on the ground, well, you're close enough to see. Her eyes are closed. She looks like she's unconscious. Her skin is like fire. Her skin's like fire when you touch her. Her skin's like fire. Almost to the point where it's going to burn your hand if you keep it there too long. There is a consecrate. Yeah, there is some consecrate. Yeah. You'd have to pray for the next day for your spells. You could probably pray for your spells the next day and get it. So. Yeah, bless is really just a thing, but there is. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, there is. I mean, there's ceremony. That is a spell that's used to kind of sanctify something. So, yeah. Okay, it's and she's so hot, the touch, you're just surprised, her clothing, the thing she's laying on, none of it's just catching fire. She's so hot. One of this guy, no, the last guy. This guy right over here, starts to stir, and Eli moves over to him, begins patting down, pulling blankets off of him, and he's like, "Well, it was a nice night to meet you, my dear. It was a nice night." And his eyes kind of flitter open, and he looks around the room. Whoa, where am I? I have. Who are you all? He looks past you and he looks down at the fallen. Oh, there she is, my little tasty morsel, who wanted to meet with me. Yes, there she is. And all of a sudden, there's a heavy collapse. Like it's just a pressure that you feel like pressed down upon the room. And she like someone that picks the strings back up. Her arm kind of like shakes back up, and her head comes popping back up, and her eyes reopen, and she flops. And the guy immediately collapses back in the bed. His breathing gets even more laborious, like he's catching up, and you see like his temples seem to flare out, and she like goes back all the way full rigid, and her head snaps towards Allie, and she says, "That will not do." And Allie closes her eyes and begins to like mumble some words again. And as Allie does it, let me see what happens. Huh? You kind of generally are, but it doesn't matter. She doesn't have advantage. Allie suddenly kind of goes real rigid, and like her arms shut down to her side, and she just like she collapses, just like eyes open, arms tied to her side, as if she was being held and constricted by some powerful, invisible bonds. Chris, go ahead and make a religion or arcana check, whichever you feel you might be better at. I think they're going to be the same for you, honestly. Yeah, go ahead with just... Don't worry about rolling for disadvantage. It's obviously she's been bitten by some sort of spider. And it just... And it doesn't... And maybe the... the temperature in the room, the spider bite, something has like... She's having an allergic reaction. The puppet girl just goes back to like tending the bodies, like she's just doing her thing. Maybe a little bit more exaggerated now because whatever the presence is knows the gig's up and it's just doing it now just to be a dick. The mayor looks terrified. He has not spoken. He's looked around the room. He just doesn't know what he's just his eyes are like giant saucers and he's just like he shivers. He's like, uh-huh. Okay. Is anybody going to try to do anything with Allie? Just out of curiosity? Okay. She doesn't appear to be, but she is like solid and like you see like a tear like leaking out the corner of her eyes. Her eyes are forced like just held open. Just because I'm just gonna give it to you. It seems as she's being like held and she's a person. I'm just saying, like something might have cast a spell of the nature of like, I don't know, hold person. But you never saw anything in the room cast like anything. Like it just, yeah. After, if you're just gonna like kind of wait it out, it seems to like relieve. Like she starts to be able to move. I think it only is for a full minute. duration. Up to a minute. Yep. So, and then she just kind of like, her breathing gets more normal, and she blinks a lot, and just like, well, that was awful. The girl moves around the room, and she kind of looks over her head, kind of cocks to the side, and says, "So we're gonna be more behaved now, right?" You don't really think it was her. Like, it was... Okay. Eli tries to, like, get between. He's like, no. He's like, no, because he realizes he's going to punch her. He like waves. He's like, yeah, he did, but he's like waving like, and he's trying to do pantomime motions. It's just funny you guys actually accidentally left a psychic person back at the camp. I just think that's funny right now. But and he's like remember how Lucky Star can speak in you guys' minds and you guys hear the presence? Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's just funny to me. He reaches over and kind of like grabs her arm, and he seems like he's flinching because his arm's hot, her arm's hot, and she kind of pulls away. But then he pulls a small little knife out and like touches it against her fingertips, and like she doesn't react, like it doesn't do anything. And she's bleeding, and it's like steam coming out from her as she's bleeding, and then he quickly wraps it up, and she's just still trying to move her hand to like weakly do it. He looks at you and just kind of shrugs like. And he, like... Alice is like, I mean... It's like coming through her. But it's not her. She's just... the vessel? The conduit? It's just like, it's odd. We'll find you. I don't know where you are. The mayor, Jason, I know you're trying to talk to the mayor a little bit. He's blinking. He's looking. She's like, all 15 years. Yes. I don't know what's going on. It's so strange to me. Well, no, she's been coming here and helping and assisting Brother Eli. I mean, he seemed to be resistant to her. I thought because she's relatively attractive, and Eli, I think, took an oath. I just assumed he was, rejecting her because of his own weakness. Maybe that was mean to me for thinking that way. Eli looks over at him, like, gives a, the seriously dude shrug, like, then Boca points back at to her, like, something's wrong. And then he moves back to the other bodies and starts helping the other people the best he can. But yeah, I guess now that you pointed out, she doesn't seem to be behaving normal. What was he saying about the guy? When Jeb woke up, he said something about, what did he say? That he was supposed to meet her? He shivers on that, and he's like, that doesn't sound like, that just sounds very odd. How does he do that? He just draws them in. You want to sit down now? he nods, and then he touches his head. Then he like touches like he reaches up to the sky. He's like, and then he does like something attacking your head. And he points to the girl, and he's like go ahead and make an insight check. That might be work because it's like sense motive, right? He's trying to get a message to you. Fortunately, he doesn't know thieves can't. Okay, that's not too bad. So he gives you the thing. He says. Ultimately, like she, and he points to one. He goes she, and then he like points in the air. Then he points at one of the other guys and points in the air, and he's like, so basically, she and them, and then like they seem to meet, and then something, and then points back to where the guy would be. You know, she. So she's somehow a puppet, luring these men. And then something's happening to them. And it's like affecting their like thoughts. Like go ahead and go make a history check. I will say your mountain though is your thing, right? What is your heritage? Are you mountain or are you? I thought there was just yeah. Well, it's like specifically about stone, right? I know you have like the stone cutting part of it all. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty solid. Yeah. You do like remember stories of like when there would be like these legends you would hear of dwarves that would like mine too deep and they would cross over to this other like realm, this I don't know, this under ground realm that might be just full of like the most like their stories of dark dwarves and dark you would kind of get the gist of like of dark, even to some degree dark gnomes, but that always makes you laugh as a kid, like what could be scary, like a gnome, like what but you would learn like and then that was just kind of like the worst crawling, like the nastiest, meanest things that could existed in this underground place, but it was like beneath like even the valuable earth. It was just a place that would be adjacent to like hell in some way, but not hell, because it's it is just a place. It's not another plane, but it was in the realm, and you just heard all these stories. And yes, there were creatures that would basically steer your thoughts. They would manipulate your thoughts. They would, and you kind of harken back to that weird green creature, that obelix that kind of like had popped out of the the innkeeper, the other dwarf, and you just immediately reflect on that moment and remember how that thing was like manipulating him in a way. Not quite puppet, but there were some similarities there in the way that thing was. And that just kind of makes your skin crawl and like, whoa. You're pretty sure they're definitely spiders. Yeah, they're probably like mine spiders, in fact. Oh, they exactly. They're going for. You do realize it is getting kind of late. Ollie's like, I don't know if I want to sleep here, but I think we might have to rest. She's like, I don't know if we'd be more vulnerable or less vulnerable, to be honest. Whatever it is, it seems to be using her as a lure. Maybe there's a way to. Yeah, maybe we can use her as like our lure to learn more. Man, everything's so hot. I understand this thing just likes heat so much. Huh? No. No, that's what Ali's saying. Like all the people are super hot and that the puppet girl is so hot. Like they're heat. And like she might be the puppet girl because she's a tiefling. Like fire doesn't burn me like it burns you. And I don't maybe that's why she is what it's using. It seems to definitely really like heat. Yes, he says we could find some place for you to stay, definitely. If that's what you would like to do. I'll move you guys outside and move you guys to copy. Actually, just do this, do this. That should already be there. He's like, yeah, this hut you could stay in. Cool. They're not at random, but they do seem to resemble one of our apartment inadvertently. They're not. That is. They're all Tay Diggs. Why did it do that? Some days things just don't make any sense. And like I said, no balls. So if I do this here. This. So he moves you guys over into this other hut. Just real quick. And it's a little cozy. It's going to be a lot cozy, I think. But we'll see how you guys can do. Yeah. Hold on. Move the party over there. Nope. Move the party over here. You guys. So, you guys see the room? Yeah, okay. So he moves you guys into a small like hut. So it has one bed, a small little fireplace. Go ahead and make a investigation check. I mean, go ahead, but you need to roll for disadvantage, so go ahead and just roll it again. Not that I'm... Okay, yeah, you don't really seem to find any, like, you see cobwebs here and there, but, you know, I'm not finding any live spiders. Ali says that I could try to do my... Ali's like, it used to be Lucky Star was the one who cast the hut. But you see nothing underneath the bed. She's like, I think I can... Go ahead. She's like, I can't do it. I just need She's like, I just need you guys all to spread out a little bit, but not too far, and I can go ahead and create a dome in a 10-foot radius. It would take up almost this entire room, but it would be a way to keep us safe from anyone else. I'm not as practiced with it as Lucky Star, but I can do the same. I understand the spell. I mean, it's cute in her songs and all, but I know how the magic works. She begins like pacing it off and begins working, mumbling words and blah blah blah. And when she gets done, you feel like a dome of energy extend around you, and it's an opaque dome that goes over your head. It's slightly purple, and it covers the whole thing. And it's dark outside, and you feel that you're fairly safe within this dome. Yeah, because it's got a great temperature. What? Yeah, Jason, you're getting I'm getting every other word. Maybe a little bit better, but because you just feel like an extra level of like security that's going to come from it. Yeah, they're. Okay. And are you guys going to set any type of watch or anything? Okay. All right. Are you going to make Ali do a watch? Or you guys just split it up into fours? Ali says, I can't leave the hut. As soon as I leave the hut. Yeah. Ali says, I can't leave the hut. As soon as I leave the hut, it will collapse. I mean, she'll take it. She's a wizard, so she's like, I need to spend more time reading and stuff. All right, you so who's first watch? Okay, go ahead and make a roll a d12. Okay. Who's the second watch? Go ahead and roll a d12. Who's third watch? Okay. And then Derek is fourth watch, I assume? And he will roll d12. Okay. Atlas suddenly wakes everyone up towards the end of the watch, so everyone gets the benefits of a full night's rest if you needed it. He's like, something's going on outside. I'm not sure what it is, but it is something alarming. I've seen many pass beyond the door, but they walk past. Ellie's like, if I step out, we lose this hut. Okay. Why would you offer free tacos? Mistletoe. All right. As you step outside the hut, this is what you see. Just you have your lantern. You see all 6 of the guys that were in the bed, like they're all out of the bed now, and they're kind of like their arms are in the air and they're like chanting weird. And you see the girl, she's in the middle, and her arms are up, and she's like her head's rolling back and forth. They so far don't seem to be noticing you, and they're like mumbling weird words that just don't even sound like words. They're almost like vomiting sounds, like blah, 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 blah. There's so many things. And then she kind of like stops, her arms drop, and she just stares blankly at you guys. And then she lifts up her arms, extends one long finger, and then like this weird guttural like scream comes from her mouth. And they all turn, and they begin lumbering towards you. So go and roll initiative. Right before that happens, Jason, your weapon begins like vibrating. Beep, 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 beep. Not that you really need it, but. I also don't see Jason. No, not kidding, kid. Jason, what's your initiative? Oh, 20. Cool. All right. Nimbles, oops, what the heck? I didn't mean to do that. Nimbles, Grey Castle. Yeah, yep. Okay. All right. This one, he's going to walk towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Ryan, he just swings his hand but it's like it's a very feeble swing, but there's you see the glimpse of almost like if he's holding a shadow, like a wall shadow in his hands. And he rolls a 21. Hold on, I don't mean to have these rolls hidden. They're not supposed to be hidden. So he does hit Ryan. Wow, I can't believe he actually hit. You feel like a slash go across your body. It takes 7 points of damage. This one will move down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He just kind of lumbers down and just stands there. Ugh. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jason, he's going to tend to lash at you the same way that the guy lashed out at Ryan. It's like there's the corner of your eye. You think you see a blade of shadow coming at you. That 13, I'm pretty sure misses. Domino the Death Dealer. Okay. How are you hitting them? Oh, you do have disadvantage, that's for sure. I mean, that's a given. The longing for the betrayal that you've done to lose your axe, your buddy axe that loved you. Are you trying to kill these guys, or are you just trying to knock them out? Okay. A 12 will hit. Yeah. He can't disadvantage damage. That's if it's the first number is the right number. The second number is, I think, if you're doing two-handed or something. Are you swinging it two-handed? All right, so you do 8 points of damage. He collapses to the ground, unconscious. Yep. Okay. Atlas. And he goes to punch the guy. I missed. Oh no, actually I do hit. Never mind. I'm not gonna hurt him though. I'm gonna knock him unconscious. And he knocks him unconscious. This one will move down to Atlas. He would have had advantage, but now he doesn't because Atlas is taken up. Chris took out the other guy. And he swings his scimitar-like hand at him. Nothing. Balden. Okay. Okay, go for it. We'll just hit his bludgeoning D4. It's a club. That hits. Which one did you hit? Okay. He's like knocked, but he's not completely down. He's close though. Yeah, go for it. Oh. Wow, that's a 3. That stinks. All right. This one will move over to you, Ryan, and attempt to swing at you again with his weird shadow hand. Wow, we're on a 19. Does that hit? Oh, yeah, never mind. Oh, yeah. 3 slashing. 3 slashing. That's a little more what I expect from him. The other one's going to go down here, and he's going to attempt to attack Atlas with the swing of his 15. Oh, but Atlas has the -4 for not being here modifier, and so he does get hit. It is. Takes 5 points of damage. Yep. If I needed it to be, it could have been the -5. Nathaniel, go for it. Oh, but no, she's just staring. Okay, go for it. Sure. So this is just a strength attack, though, because you're trying to punch him, because fists are not finesse weapons. Yeah. But with advantage. Okay. Well, actually, I apologize, Jason. I messed it up for you, but that's fine. We'll just take the 18. Because you should have... the 14 would hit, too. You should actually also have your proficiency, because you are proficient with your hands. So unless it's... Is that your proficiency bonus in there? Okay. And you... What's your strength? It's 2, right? Yep. So you knock him unconscious. He's unconscious. Yep. But you would also have your proficiency bonus to those attacks. So you knock him out, he falls to the ground. Domino the Death Dealer. I don't know how you get there. Okay. Yeah, they still feel very warm. Yep. Okay, that seems to be a solid hit. Yeah, I assume you're still just knocking him unconscious. He goes like a long time. Atlas forgets how to punch. And doesn't do anything. This call is going to attempt to hit Atlas again. That's what they do. Oh, it crits for 12 points of damage. What? Well, no, it's a 7 plus 5, so 12. Oh, I got you. Yeah. No, it's only it's a minus 2 is AC for now. I know. Baldwin, go for it. Exactly. They have Vorpal scimitars when it comes to All right, you clock them. Go ahead and roll that damage. You just hit him once. Yeah, the 10 actually misses. All right. Doesn't seem to be doing that well. That guy's dead. That guy's still alive. He will attempt to hit Atlas again. Atlas is really taking a pound in this fight. He hits! For 3 damage. I do not know why. These guys seem to hit me so much. Go for it, Nimbles. That doesn't hit, sorry. It's just not quite the move. Domino the Death Dealer. No, she's just standing there, just. That hits. Yep, he's down. All right, and Atlas will go ahead and try to swing in the last one, and probably take it out. Miss, hit. Nope, doesn't take it out. Balden. I'll move here. All right. Okay, that's like as soon as you hit her, she just collapses. Like the first hit knocks her and she just falls down, packed unconscious. And then this guy kind of go ahead. Okay, go ahead and roll damage for them. It's best. That was the best damage you've done tonight, almost. Well, it was a 4 on the max, yeah. So, all right, yeah, she's seems to be very out. All right, this. He attempts to attack Atlas again. 15. I think that misses Atlas. Yeah, Atlas is 17. Nimble's Great Castle. Yeah, this one is still alive. Wow. Wow. This guy is just Domino the Death Dealer. He is. Sure. If you go down one more, you could have advantage. You're like on the edge of the water, but you feel like you're okay. Now you just have a normal attack. That will hit, and he collapses. He only had 3 remaining hit points. So as you defeated the strange, twisted people, for whatever that's worth. You defeated these pathetic little fishermen, yeah. It's always a big deal for his character. You hear Ali yelling from the thing, "Is everything okay out there?" Chris, make a religion check. Religion. With disadvantage, sir. That's fair. Oh, all right, 12. You're not sure, but you think it was some sort of like strength gathering or like nourishing, maybe kind of ritual. You know, they were all focusing. They were all sitting at 6 different points, focused at her. So they must have been like somehow like maybe channeling energy to her, and if she's a conduit for something else, so maybe it was some sort of like, what do you guys want to do with the bodies of the people? The brother Eli pops out, and he just looks like from the hut. He has a growing bruise on the side of his forehead. You can tell he was definitely something clobbered him. He points. He's like no. And so he basically tells you he was asleep. Then something woke him up, and then that's when he got hit, and he just recovered. So, and he just. You can make an insight check with disadvantage. You think he seems pretty genuine. Nothing too much about him. It feels like, yeah. He kneels down at her body and kind of basically he puts his head to her chest, or I'm sorry, he has to put his ear over her lips and then like looks down at her chest, and then okay, you realize he's just making sure she can breathe or she's alive, and then he goes around, starts to check. Yeah, we're gonna go touch her. Okay. She's like warm, but she's like the warm of like if you ever put like a hot, you put like a hot, like a boiling pan or something on top of like one of those little the pads, and then you take the pan off, but then you touch the pad right afterwards. She has this like residual heat, like you'd almost feel it fading on her already. It definitely seems to like be around her, like it's trying to use her, and so she might be the key to luring it out, so to speak. Okay, yeah, Eli was starting to do that. He starts saying all the other guys basically. Oh, yeah. When she cast it, like you go to walk through and like it just pushes her out of your hands, like ah. It won't let her into the magical hut. Okay. I don't know. Is there? Well, the nice thing is Claire has to pray for their spells every day, so you could maybe look at what you want, and I'll give you some extra time because it's almost 11:15. I'll give you some extra time, this week or 2 weeks to figure out what spells you might want to pray for, and we'll conclude here right now at the village part. You take I assume you put all the guys back in their beds. I'm so glad you guys didn't kill these people. They are 1/8 of a challenge rate. Oh. You could have, but... But maybe something terrible would happen if they died with the things in their heads. Yeah, something might have happened then. Let me go and do that real quick. And I'll do the experience thing. Put you guys back in the cabin. You can pretty much make a sap. If you just take a bag, put rocks in it, you have a sap. I'm not going to give you grief on that. So, but yeah. Right. That's true in this town, yeah. Yeah, whatever it was it would do about probably 2 points of damage, like something like that. I don't figure the sap. Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out something for what a sap would do. Well, a sling's like a D4. A quarterstaff's a D4. I feel like a sap is like, I don't know. Right. I would be fine with that. Yeah. Right. All right, so I mean, online they're saying in homebrew people, and they've given it a D4 as well. So I guess it is kind of like, if you think about it, it is kind of a weighted little thing to just swack somebody over the head with. It probably does hurt. You should. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Quarterstaff's a D6, I think. I made you roll too low, Ryan. I should made you roll a D6. Yeah, I think you did too. Yeah, it is a D6. Yeah, all right, so I feel better. And if you swing it two-handed, it's a D4, a D8. So. Yeah. All right, so that was my bad on that. So the sap at D4 is fine. It's along the lines of a club, probably just as lethal. So yeah, you can manufacture that. If you get a critical hit or a critical fumble, there'll be a percentage chance that the sap will break because it's not a real sap. It's a rock with a rock. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So, let me do the experience real quick. It's a little higher because of the mission, the investigation, and you guys actually, if you had killed these people instead, something else would have popped out. You would have had to have fought. So I'm giving you the experience of fighting the things inside as well, because you basically did not have to deal with the things inside. So. Just gotta get to one of the things real quick and see how much they were worth. Now stop. I'm just alluding to what's there. They're not that much tougher. 2, 6, 300. 300. 425. Okay, now that's everything. That works. I'm fine with that. All right. Boom. You guys got 250 experience points total each new this experience, this night. And you've learned something, but maybe not that much. I don't know. Right. He's converting to loft. You just don't know. So. And loath. I think that is like, yeah. So, hope everybody had fun. I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead. It should be on your character sheet, Ryan. It should have updated automatically. When I do it, it should have automatically done it. Yeah. I try. So, yeah, you'll be Ryan. You probably can burn a hit dice because you'll get the benefit of a second of a thing, and that should get you back to max if you'd like to do that. You'll still be down a hit dice, but from the night, but I give back to max the next morning if that's what you want to do. I don't know what poor Atlas is going to do. Atlas might have to burn like all of his. He burned all of them for no real reason. Even after he's fully healed, he just kept burning hit dice. I don't know why I kept doing this. Just kidding, Derek. If you ever watch this thing, you're probably not going to watch it. That's true. That is kind of weird. Actually, I think I have some pretty good rolls on him. And then I had one that wasn't right at all, but things happen.